Hey everyone, Jim Yord here. Today I wanted to talk with you about something I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to, which is disappointment. You know, when things don't work out the way we hoped they would or planned that they would. And that doesn't feel good right now in the present moment when that happens. But even worse, disappointment can set off this sort of chain reaction, this sort of snowball effect, where we start to feel bad about ourselves and maybe doubt ourselves, maybe doubt that we're even worthy of having the things that we want in life. And so it can corrode our motivation and our willingness and ability to go after what it is that we really want. So today, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what disappointment is, some ideas about where it comes from, and then different ways that you might be able to approach your goals in life so that you can do your best and achieve all that you can, and regardless of how that ends up looking, still feeling gratified and good about yourself and feeling disappointed less often. Sound good? Okay, so let's get right into it. So one way to think about disappointment is that it happens when your expectations exceed your reality. Looking at achievement this way, then you might think, okay, this seems pretty simple, right? So either increase my performance, my achievement, and just get better at what I do, or lower my expectations. And in fact, while we're at it, why not just reduce your expectations all the way to zero? And that way, no matter what you do, then you'll still feel good, right? Well, not necessarily. That sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's a little more complicated because there's often an upper limit on the amount to which we can improve our performance on the one hand. So, I can wish to run a 3-minute mile as long as I want, but you know what? It's not going to happen. I'm not going to break the world record in a mile. I know that, and I'm okay with that. I can let go of that goal and not have that expectation of myself. On the other hand, reducing your expectations all the way to zero or reducing them too far has its own problems. Because it's hard to maintain optimism, for one thing, if you're telling yourself that, yeah, I'm probably not going to achieve anything. And furthermore, if you actually do want to achieve things in life and you're setting goals in a smart way, then you need to have some sort of vision of the future that you can work toward. So, there's a lot of research on this topic, and there's a sweet spot to be found between setting ambitious goals that are a little bit out of reach versus setting goals that are too easy to achieve, that when you achieve them, you don't really get a sense of accomplishment from them. In the middle, there's this sweet spot, and there's an art and a science to finding that. I don't want to go into that today. I'm actually going to be going into that in great depth in a new course that I'm putting together for you guys that I haven't announced yet. Although I guess I just did announce it. Whoops. But stay tuned for more information on that. But what I wanted to leave you with today is this observation of mine that I think people all too often become fixated on the way they want their life to look rather than the way they want their life to feel. So let me give you a couple of examples. Imagine there's a person who says, by the time I'm 25 years old, I want to be married and have a child. Or maybe by the time I'm 25 or 30 or 35, I want to have made my first $1 million and then to have a Ferrari and then to have a family with 3 kids and all 3 kids go to Ivy League schools, etc. Well, what happens when we get fixated on these concrete milestones is that with the longer this chain of events is that we're projecting out into the future, and the more concrete that chain is, the more likely it is, just by sheer odds, that our life is going to play out differently than we're expecting it to or hoping it will. I don't know about you guys, but I have been absolutely terrible in my life projecting how my life is going to turn out. When I was 5 years old, I never would have guessed that my life would look like this now. Or at 15 years old or even 25 years old, I never would have projected this. And so we can basically put ourselves on a tightrope when we establish these long chains of concrete, black and white milestones that we need to hit. And so what I'm suggesting is that instead you tune into the feelings that you'd like to have underneath those concrete ideas that you might have, right? So the person who wants to get married by age 25, under that might really be seeking a sense of a tight-knit social connection with others, right? Feeling valued within a tight-knit social group, like a family. Well, if that person tunes into that goal, well then there's all different kinds of ways that he or she can have that sort of social connection. It may or may not work out to be a spouse by the age of 25. Might be close friends or family or co-workers, whatever. But it frees that person up then to achieve their goals in any number of ways, and dramatically increases the odds that they will not end up disappointed as a result. Or the other person who is after the $1 million and the Ferrari in the garage. That person might be after being well regarded by other people. Or maybe in order to afford that car, they're already assuming that they have a career that they're successful at, which means that maybe they really want to be competent at a skill, maybe a skill that they're already aware of, that they really enjoy. They'd like to be good enough at it to really succeed in life by employing that skill. So what I'm getting at with all of this is I'm encouraging you not to abandon all of your expectations of yourself, not by any stretch, but rather to hold more loosely those concrete ones and really tune in more to the softer, more intrinsic motivators that really propel you through life, right? So things like connection, intimacy, meaning, purpose, competence, respect, self-respect, all these things and many, many more. These are the things that really matter to you, right? That keep you going through thick and thin, that you can really pin your long-term motivation, your long-term objectives to, and then work out in the short run how to operationalize those, how to bring those to life, okay? So, those are the things that are going to keep you satisfied with yourself, satisfied with your progress, and help you be a good, contributing, happy member of society, even when your Ferrari or whatever other car you have is in the shop. You'll still be able to keep driving forward, okay? So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you found it helpful. Please visit my website at jimyort.com, and there you can find more videos like this, articles, podcasts, free downloads, and all sorts of information that can help you pursue your personal development objectives. And I mentioned the upcoming course. Please join my email list or subscribe to this channel, or better yet, do both. And that way you can stay in the loop for when I launch that later this year. So thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.